and welcome to video 2 of my Refit Enterprise model, the 1/350 scale model that is. So this video is going to focus on the shuttle bay. So it is my favourite part of the ship. It's the main reason why I bought the ship. So let's get to it. So the model comes in 7 parts. It's the basic model that you get with the kit with no extras, nothing else. So you have the base, you have the 2 sides, you have the top, you have the 2 light wells that come for the top, and you have the back of the actual shuttle bay as well. Optional extras you can get, which I recommend, and I wholeheartedly recommend, because it just makes the model look so much better. So get yourself a Paragrafix kit, and that is a flat piece of metal, and you anneal it if you so wish. I didn't, I opted not to, and I had no problems. You anneal it basically means you're sort of heating it up for a bit, let it cool, and that relaxes the metal, I think, and then you cut it all out, and then you do what you do with each piece. Paragrafix comes with its own instructions, so it will tell you which parts go where and how to do that, and it's invaluable, it's brilliant. So basically you have several bits. So you'll have the front here where these windows are for an observational deck here. You will drill out with a Dremel or the windows that are here. At the back there's a little gully there, you see a little rectangle thing, so I just cut that whole thing there and didn't go any further than just that. So I cut that all out, and then I put the Paragrafix on top, and that had a nice clean line, which is brilliant. So that's those. It also comes with some what I'm going to call ridges. They're like little strut ridges, and they go all along the base part at the bottom end of your shuttle bay, which is a really good thing, and that's on both sides. There are also railings that go with this as well, which is a nice little addition, and the railings will go at the back and here, and also on the back part of your actual shuttle bay. So with Paragrafix, cut them out, glue them on, Bob's your uncle, you're sorted. The next thing I did was I primed it. Now I used Rust-Oleum primer. Now this is a white one, actually is what I used for the main colour of the actual ship. So literally just primer, didn't do anything else other than that. But for the majority of it I used, for priming, grey. So I used grey to prime it all. So basically I could see from the white of the plastic that I'd actually sprayed it. Sprayed that, let that dry, let it do its thing, because spray paint does take a while. Once it's dry, I then used all sorts of things. I have, in my country, which is the UK, we have a shop called Hobbycraft, and you can get them online. It just happened that at the time I was able to go and get the paints. We were in between lockdowns, so I could actually go out. And I use Revel paint, but they all have colour codes and stuff like that. Now, Revel models come with these colour codes, but this one, which is obviously a Polar Lights one, doesn't. It has a different sort of stuff. Couldn't understand a word of it. So I had to sort of think and look at the model and look at the film and do my own sort of interpretation. So, but anyway, so I used Revel models, Revel paints, and I also used just regular old system-free paint, which is an acrylic paint, and I used that on various parts of the model. Didn't have any problem with it, which is really, really good. With these, I used the cheapest of the cheap airbrush. So these airbrushes are literally the airbrush gun bit with the little bottle, and then it goes to a gas, like kind of like aerosol, really big aerosol, connects to that, and you can get yourself a new aerosol as you want. It's just a can full of air, and that was my spray gun. So once I'd primed it, I then sprayed it into the colour that I wanted. So for this, for the bottom, I sprayed it black, and then the rest was just normal Revel paint, which was nice. Then got varnish sprayed once I'd completed the model. Once I did the basic part, I then moved onto the little shuttles and stuff. Now the shuttles and stuff, and they all come in these sort of things, and they come into various pieces. The shuttles are in basically 4 pieces or 3 pieces. So there's a top and a bottom, there's a back piece, and the little pods come in 2. So there's like this white and then a clear plastic. The beauty with the pod for the clear plastic is I was going to do it and didn't do it, so I shall do it for the next one, is you can light up the inside, have some silhouettes, because with the Paragrafix you get these silhouettes. So I was planning, to put those silhouettes inside the little pod and have fibre optics inside to just illuminate the whole area. Didn't get round to doing it because I put a Paragrafix right where you would drill a hole to get that stuff through, and I thought I'm not drilling through metal. So that'll be for another attempt at this model, which would be a good thing to do, and I can do more and different things than I did with this one. So those ones, and they are fantastic because once they're done, they all look really, really cool. They come with their own decal. These are like the little shuttle, and you get your little shuttle here as well. Now I laid out, once I'd done the main part of the model, I'd glued one wall in and the back in, and I left this wall free to then allow me to sort of place things and see how I wanted it before I finished it. I got the general, just took some photographs. So then I put the shuttles to one side and I carried on. And I carried on with doing all the decals and stuff. Decals you've got here and here. And these little bits here, all here. This is an older kit, so this one hasn't got as many decals as the kit I used. That's that, and those all go, so like they go on, there's like a running section, like a light yellow running bit that goes in. I drilled holes as well in mine. I was intending to get one of those kits where you have the strobe lights going, but I did this on a budget, and then I did fibre optic option, and then one single LED powering that and lighting all those up. So they were permanently on. I could have had a flashy one. I opted just for a simple non-flashing LED. Next one I probably will do a flashing one, which will give it a little extra sort of energy. But it would be nice to have the kit, but they are quite expensive. So that there, and then you've got the numbered E1 and E2, which go there, and then the box colours at the back. The other parts that come with this, which I have forgotten about, so there's two extra parts, is the lifts that go across the centre. They are clear parts. Now you're going to have to mask all of the little windowy bits that are in there, mask them all, and then you're going to need to paint that. Now with it's clear plastic, so I found that quite difficult to cover, and in hindsight I think what I should have done is used primer over first, which would have adhered better, and then I would have put the actual colour I was doing on top. I ended up doing several coats of that because I've lit mine from top and bottom, and I found when I was testing it with a little LED bulb and stuff like that, that light was leaking through the paint, so I had to keep going over and over and over that until I got the effect I wanted, which was just to come through the little window bits. And that's that really. So I'm going to let the picture me and sort of narrate and show you all the pictures I took of the model, and you'll get a better idea of what I'm talking about and how I went about and finished this lovely model. And it's my favourite bit. Anyway, I hope you enjoy. So here are the parts, as I've discussed, all nice and clean from the model kit. I then sprayed them and started my colour scheme, so a nice pale grey for the walls and a dark grey for other areas. Orange for the walkways and the railings, which was a nice little touch I thought. Then the detailing, so white paint on the crisscrosses, and then all the Aztec decals coming on, as well as decals for the base of the actual model, which really started to set the whole thing off, and I actually started getting really excited to how this was going to look, which is, you know, the main thing. I then started planning how I was going to lay it out with the turbo lifts in place, all nicely painted after I had masked them to allow me to light them. And yeah, starting to look really, really good. There you can see all the little struts and the extra bits with the Paragrafix added in, and then with all the shuttles and stuff, trying to decide how it was laid out before I glued it all down. There's the worker bees, which were tiny little things, and they housed the pods and stuff, and I placed one at the very back of the model. So yeah, a very nice looking model, if I may say so.
So the last thing I did was actually install the fibre optics, and this was just before I put it into the hull itself. So it was simply just gluing in the fibre optics on their end and with some actual glue gun, and that was it really, and then just powering it with an LED light.
One thing I didn't mention is I frosted the two lights that go, light wells that go on the top of the model. That's to diffuse the light that comes in. Apart from that, absolutely 100% done, and that was then ready to install into the actual main model once I was completed with the hull. I'm going to do a little video on the shuttle bays and stuff as well, just because I've rushed over a few things here. And yeah, if you've got any questions, feel free please to make a comment, and I will do my best to answer at the best of my ability as an amateur modeller. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you next time.